Palestinian brother.
I'm not Palestinian though.
No?
I'm Colombian.
What kind of Wikipedia am I reading? What? I just seen your Netflix documentary, and it was a whole story of you in Yugoslavia or something like that. But welcome.
Turn the volume up.
Welcome, Rob. Once again, let Rob get situated, and everybody out there who received it. We're in a great situation.
And close the door, please.
And life is amazing when I have a beautiful Colombian mug on my screen. Look at that. My brother, before we continue, how amazing is life?
Yo, man, considering all the crazy shit, D, that has been happening in this world the last year alone, life is good, bro. I cannot complain, man. I'm super blessed. Thankful to be here with you. You and I go way back, so this is going to be fun. You know, I've done a lot of live stream shows. I was really looking forward to this one specifically because of the relationship that you and I have. And, yeah, dude, I'm just thankful, man, and blessed right now, dude. I have nothing to complain about.
Rob, you're a very motivated and self-motivated person who you can be happy by yourself. Me, as a runner, that's something that I like too, because I run, I'll go somewhere, and just being in my own energy, I got a lot of time to think and kind of situate thoughts. But in that vein, how amazing it is as far as for me, that transition, and we'll go to before this transition, but because we're talking about positivity, and we'll continue that theme throughout the show. But when the superhero version that everybody knows to love, Brolic comes to fruition, and that is a focus, and I could say something where you kind of go into yourself and you tap into another part. If you can elaborate on that.
Well, for me, man, the journey that I've taken to get to this point in my life has been smooth at times, rough at other times, and you just have to be able to depend on yourself and have faith in your own ability, man, to conquer whatever issue is in front of you. People see me, whether it's my skills on the turntables or the popularity that I have, and may not realize the work that I put in to achieving the skill level, achieving the popularity. It's a lot of work, and you have to be able to have faith in yourself and your ability to develop as a person, to face a challenge and conquer it. All that shit, bro. Like, it's not some shit where you just wake up and you're just brolic arm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's a journey, man, and you have to be able to take the good with the bad. And my life, man, I've had a lot of ups and downs, whether it was financial ups and downs, whether it was creative ups and downs. Dstroy, again, your relationship with me is, you know, you and I know each other on a level that people watching may not appreciate. So you know what I'm talking about. The things I've gone through, whether it was with the X-Ecutioners or just within myself, you know, yeah, dude, I'm still here standing. That's really the thing about the whole situation that I guess I want to impart on y'all is the fact that I'm still standing, and I know that challenges may still come. Actually, they will come. Like, you never stop being challenged by life. So if anything, I'm just more brolic now, stronger. And when the challenges come and I have to face them, I won't be as scared maybe as I probably was in the past. You know what I mean? Because I know I've been there, done that. I could get through whatever that issue is.
Now, you've been that dude who has a discipline cut from a different cloth that I have to admit is refreshing. You know, going in retrospect and listening to old conversations that I recorded between me and Tony Touch when I was a teenager, I learned, right? Because I'm listening to how I thought, and not only how I sound, like like I dropped out of Looney Tunes University, like, yo, fair, yo, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, when I listen back, it's also kind of the philosophies that I learned, I changed throughout my progress. But let's get to that early version of Brolic, Rob Swift. Now, when you land in and you fall in love with what it is that you're doing, it starts with the culture, with the music, with the sounds. And of course, you know, your parents were big on music. So if you can, what age is that for you where this genre starts having an impact on Rob?
Shit, I would say 8 years old was when I was introduced to hip hop culture. My older brother, John Universe, chilling right now in Regal Park, Queens, would sit me down and play cassette tapes of Park Jams featuring Grandmaster Flash, Grand Wizard Theodore, Jazzy J. And he would explain to me everything that was happening. It was like going to school, man. Like, he would sit me down and be like, yo, Rob, do you hear that sound? That's him scratching. And then I was also fortunate enough to have a father that was a DJ. He was in a hip hop DJ. Right. Again, I'm not Palestinian, D. I'm Colombian.
Contrary to TMZ's information.
So my dad spun salsa, merengue, cumbia. He had equipment, speakers, mics, tape decks, his Spanish records and shit. But my brother was immersed in hip hop. So my brother would go record digging, and we're talking, you know, fucking early 80s, you know? So he would sit me down in front of my dad's equipment and play joints like Big Beat by Billy Squier and Take Me to Mardi Gras by Bob James. And he'd be like, yo, what Flash is doing there is this. And he'd take his you know, his hand and place it on the record, scratch it. And I was just amazed at the fact that, A, my brother was into this world, and B, impressed with that culture, the resourcefulness that surrounded hip hop, the fact that these kids were being creative and musical without actual instruments. Like, they were doing all this shit on turntables.
Now,
so,
I don't want to take anything away from you, but if I can, with your brother, did your brother or did you know about what was taking place in Elmhurst? I know, you know, it was different, but I had Kid from Kid and Play on here, Kwame, and these guys were in Queens and Elmhurst, you know, and they were telling me stories of hanging at the Buccaneer and even this thing called Booty Park, which was the park over there. But the reason why I bring it up specifically is because I listened to a mixtape that was a recording from the park that I didn't even know was taking place, because the Bronx had the great fortune of having guys who had cameras who were filming everything. Right. But Queens was happening as well. It was just not in wild style. It was just, you know what I mean? But it was
well, D, just to interrupt you there, and I know you know this already. It might have not been in wild style, but it was in Star Wars.
Okay.
Right? Remember in the scene in Star Wars where you see Rocksteady battling the Dynamic Breakers, in that there was a skating rink, and that was USA roller skating rink, and that shit existed, you know, in the like early years of hip hop being introduced to mainstream media. Word. So
you know what, Rob?
And that, yo, real quick, just real quick, just for the people out there, USA roller skating rink was on 69th Street and Roosevelt Avenue in Jackson Heights. And Crazy Legs and fucking Frosty Freeze and Doze, all those cats used to come from the Bronx to Queens to battle dudes and breakdance. So we were right there with the Bronx.
Yes. You know, and I agree, and I think it's very important for you to say that. And I also love the story with your brother's influence being there. Now, this is amazing. USA on the show, we had Master Ace, who showed the demo of the song that he played at USA when he performed and won the contest that ended up getting him his record deal on Code Chillin'. So, you know, there's a lot of history there, you know, that I don't want to go too deep into, but it was a very significant thing. And it was also important that Queens had a presence. But Rob Swift is here. And before you land on Rob Swift, are you toying with any other names?
Nah, just Brolic Arm, man. You know, when you and I met initially, I was a skinny kid. I weighed about 169 wet. Yes. And I would say in 2006, a couple of years after I left the X-Ecutioners, yo, I have this funny story, yo. I was dating this girl who was into fitness, and she invited me to the beach. And I remember thinking, like, fuck, like, I'm just gonna look stupid, like, at the beach with this chick who's, like, super fit, and I'm, like, this skinny fucking dude and shit. So in my head, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna go to the beach and look corny next to her, so I'm gonna take out a gym membership. And that was, like, a week before she fucking, you know, she asked me, and I had a week to get in shape in my head. So I like
in your mind, that was like when ladies are about to get married, they're like, I need to get fit. When you get married? Next week. Okay, let's go.
Right, exactly, yo. So, yo, I kid you not, dude. I went to Northern Boulevard and 83rd Street. There was a gym there. And I went and fucking took out my membership thinking in 7 days I'll be fucking ripped and I'll look right at the beach with this chick. And you know what's funny is, yo, we broke up right before we were supposed to go to the beach. We fucking broke up. So
and you still had the gym membership.
And I still had I still had the fucking gym membership. So
well, that's a good thing.
I finished it for the year and renewed that shit because I fell in love with training. So I'm thankful to her because even though the relationship fucking ended, she served her purpose. The whole point of that relationship was for me to fucking the whole point of that relationship was for me to fucking get in shape. And I'm in shape now.
So I had Les on the show from the world famous Beat Nuts. And you know, he told me a thing where he was partners with you, and I asked him about his early name. And one of it, I think it was Incredible Fingers or something like that.
Oh, okay. You're talking about like early names. All right. So Les was Incredible Hands.
Incredible Hands.
Incredible Hands. And I was Robbie Rob. And then from Robbie Rob, I went to DJ Swift, and I kept Swift. And yo, Les's mom, yo, man, you're bringing back some really dope memories. Les's mom, like, she was ill at sewing. She was like a seamstress or some shit like that. And she would make jackets for us. So we would go buy like starter jackets with the leather sleeves and shit like that. And Les still be rocking them shits. Like, he hasn't changed at all. So we would buy these starter jackets, give them to his mom, and his mom would take out like the baseball logos off the jackets and then put our name. Like, she would cut like our names with fucking leather and shit, and it'd be like Incredible Hands, and then you see these two hands under his fucking name and shit. And then for me, it'd be like DJ Swift, and we would go to fucking high school, junior high school and shit like that, rocking the jackets, thinking we were the shit. Because I started out with Les. He and I went to my brother, and we were like, yo, teach us how to DJ. Because we were just all about it, yo. I remember Les used to write graffiti in class and shit. We'd write rhymes in class. Like, we love hip-hop. No, this is the beginning. This is junior high school, 6th grade. So
what's junior high school? Just so I know context.
Yeah, it was IS 145 on Northern Boulevard. Between 80th and 79th Street.
Awesome. Continue on that road. But that's
man. So
you guys must have been the coolest dudes with a jacket with a name.
Bro, we were the shit, man. And everyone knew that we DJ'd, and we used to make mixtapes for people. We used to throw parties. We would be asked to DJ parties and shit like that. The first party I DJ'd was at my junior high school. It was like the junior high school dance. And I fucking DJ'd that shit. And the principal paid me like $50 or some shit. So we go way back with this whole art form and this culture. So yeah, big up to Psycho Les. That's his name now. And I became Brolic Arm and shit like that. But in the original days, he was Incredible Hands. I was Robbie Rob. And then I changed my name to DJ Swift. And a friend of my brother's was like, yo, you should. No, actually, a friend of my brother's named me Swift. And then before I started competing, I wanted people to know my real name. So I put Rob in front of Swift and I became Rob Swift.
I love it.
Word.
So, you know, you understand when I hit that harmonica, it's a gem. Gems are
no doubt.
Not only visual, they're also that you drop them. And there's many that I appreciate and I love. Now, we continue on to the story. What high school did you go to after junior high school? Just so I know in context as well, because I like to know.
Yeah. I went to Newtown High School, and Les ended up going to Flushing High School. And yeah, Newtown High School is in the like Regal Park, Left Rack City sort of
in the
area.
Queens area, yeah.
Yeah,
because we got some people
exactly.
from Australia who are viewing that are like, I don't know the difference, fam.
Right,
Queens,
yeah.
Cool, Nas,
Right.
got it, done.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. That's beautiful. If I can, what speaks to your discipline and your focus of because I've seen you in action, you know, away from what it is that you present in regards to Rob Swift, and you're a very focused person. And what can you is a attribute of that? Where does that come from?
My dad, man. Definitely my father. He was super disciplined about providing for his family, you know, and he wouldn't be out fucking partying or any of that shit. The only time he was away from home was when he was either working or DJing. And when he was DJing, he'd bring the family with him. You know, he'd bring myself, my brother, my mom. We would go and chill with him at the parties that he was hired to DJ at. My dad was just always around providing for us and making sure that he was holding the family down. And I think that focus just, obviously I have his DNA in me. So that focus that I have is a reflection of my father.
How beautiful is that? I want to let that great energy breathe right there. So, you know, you continue, and then, you know, the great thing is always, like, as a kid from Brooklyn, a guy from Queens, yourself, the trick is really navigating what it is, your craft, beyond your comfort zone of your house. You know, when you start going out, and of course you told me you DJ'd at your junior high school thing. Same thing for me. I brought the Chubb Rock record, Treat 'Em Right, and the DJ was like, "You got records?" And I was so excited. But same thing, and I was enamored by the culture and that I was embraced. But you go and you start traveling, and if you can, those pivotal moments that you start falling into the name Rob Swift, and you start becoming recognized. What was that moment?
Yo, it starts with fucking Johnny Juice, man. Big up to Johnny Juice. A lot of people may not realize or know this, but he did the scratches on the first two Public Enemy albums, Yo Bum Rush the Show and It Takes a Nation of Millions. He had a radio show, a college radio show that I would listen to, myself and Psycho Les at the time, Incredible Hands. We would stay up on Saturday nights and just listen to the radio, whether it was Marley Marl on WBLS, Red Alert and Chuck Chillout on 98.7 KISS, or the Spectrum City crew. The Spectrum City crew was Chuck D, Flavor Flav, the Bomb Squad. They were DJs at the time, and Melody, who is now known as Terminator X. They used to fucking have their own radio show on, I forget the name. It was Adelphi University in Long Island. Adelphi University in Long Island. They had their college radio show, and I would stay up till like 12:30, 1 a.m. listening to them after I'd listened to Red Alert or Chuck or Marley Marl.
Right.
And Johnny Juice also had his own radio show that was from a college radio, a university in Long Island. I forget the name. The name of the show was P5 Punk Progressive Pop Party. And yeah,
he went in his brain for that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's just, we're bringing up fucking a lot of old memories. But I got to give that to those people, because Johnny Juice, for example, would play. Back then, obviously, there was no social media. So when I discovered DJ battles like the DMC, the new music seminar battle for World Supremacy,
yes,
it was on Johnny Juice's show. He would dub VHS audio of these battles onto a cassette, and then he would play the cassette on the radio. And I remember hearing Cash Money and Cutmaster Swift, DJ Aladdin for the first time on the radio. So I didn't know what these dudes looked like, but I knew what they sounded like. And I was just blown away because their skill level was just way ahead of anything that Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out, Marley Marl were doing. So that's when I fell in love with the technique, the true technique and the potential of what you could do on turntables. And I just started practicing. And then I walked home from fucking Newtown High School one day, got home in time to watch Video Music Box. And here in New York City, this dude, Ralph McDaniels, was the host of a show that still airs now called Video Music Box. And again, back then there was no social media. So if you wanted to watch music videos, you couldn't pick up a phone and log on to YouTube and watch videos. You had to sit at home and wait till your specific show came on. And my show was Video Music Box. And at 3:30 p.m., videos would start airing on Channel 31 for 1 hour. And one day, Ralph McDaniels played an excerpt of the 1990 East Coast DMC competition. He went and filmed and then showed excerpts of the battle throughout the course of this hour. And I saw Steve D for the first time, Plastic Man, who was a member of the Supermen, big up to Clark Kent, Richie Rich. And Steve D was the founder, one of the founders of the X-Men. And I remember seeing Steve cut up Friends, and that's when I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, now I'm seeing what I was hearing Johnny Juice play over the radio. Now I'm seeing it, and I just fell in love with it. And that was what inspired me to want to get into competitions, and that's where I feel the seed that became Rob Swift was planted.
Yes, yes, and that's so beautiful, because witnessing, actually listening to you do the fun, make a little beat, that phenomenal routine that you have on Stretch and Bob, and then that would get a lot of burn, because of course all of us will record it and then play it for a lot of people, and then had the great fortune to be in the presence of yourself as you would do it live for a crowd and be blown away. Now, I'm sure you discuss so much in interviews as far as those type of things, the battles, shit down to 8-track being a kid. And I'm sure you went through all of that. And to be respectful for time and experience as well, if I can, when did you feel you had arrived in either time? Because the great thing about Rob Swift is the guy navigates. He not only came up when he was young, but he stays continuously staying creative, putting new thought into things, and staying amazing, because you inspired by myself as well through jazz music and watching what they were doing. They were innovative, and you're an innovator. But that being said, I don't know what key moments stand out for you, so I don't want to make it a singular moment, because you're Rob Swift. So, but what are some moments that you felt like you had arrived?
Battling in the 1991 East Coast DMC, and placing third, coming out of nowhere. Like, no one knew who the fuck Rob Swift was. I had my mentor, Dr. Butcher, training me. And we were like two monks in Corona, Queens, preparing for the battle in 1991. It was March. I still have, I have a screenshot somewhere. Yeah, of the flyer. Yeah. And yo,
he said
March, dude. I remember all that shit, man. Like, it was yesterday. Those moments I remember because, as you said, they were key points in my development as a artist right now and as a person too. But when I competed in that competition and I placed, and there were dudes that were battling for years before I ever stepped on the scene that didn't even place, that's when I knew, like, all right, like, I'm serious here. Like, I knew I was serious, but I felt like they knew I was serious and that I meant business. And that was one moment. Then the following year, winning the 1992 DMC, the same battle that I entered the previous year, I won a year later. But then between those two battles, there were moments of failure that maybe I didn't necessarily feel I arrived. For example, I got bounced out in the second round of the 1991 seminar battle. I lost in the first round in the 92 seminar battle. So those two moments, for me, I had to sit down and be like, do I even want to do this? Am I as good as I thought I was? But I didn't let it stop me or discourage me from continuing on. So they might not have been highlights in my career or moments where I felt I arrived, but they were pivotal experiences that I had that helped me create other highlights. You know, sometimes, when you fail or you get pushed down, it makes you stronger, man. And it makes you smarter too about what it is that you're trying to attain. Like,
what I hear is you weren't discouraged. You stood strong.
Yeah.
And,
right.
And that's a very beautiful thing. Now, Rob, this is Show Off Your Gems, where we show items that we've collected throughout the years. Like yourself, I don't know if you still have it, but I prominently have my painting from the tour that me and you and the rest of the X-Ecutioners, it's in my living room.
I still have it. Yeah.
Yep. And, you know, but it's, you know, items that we've collected through time. So, you know, we got a lot of things that we could build on, but I don't want to take away from the nugget that makes this show so special.
No doubt.
With that being said, Rob, I don't know what it is that you have. You'll tell me what is the last item when you get to it. And, you know, walk us through some storylines. And if they don't have no stories, that's fine. If it's a gem to you, all of this is your perspective, bro.
Right on, man.
With that being said, Rob Swift, show off your gems.
Well, I think that's a perfect segue. We were talking about me battling and going from placing third in the 91 East Coast DMC, then losing my next two battles only to win my fourth battle, right? And I have the jacket here of that competition. So this is the jacket, the DMC jacket. And it's just a piece of cotton.
No. Show me the back again. Show me the back again. Don't put Rob. You don't understand the passion that the people on this show have. And 1992 Techniques USA DJ Championship. Rob, it's serious on Show Off Your Gems, bro.
Yeah, man. That jacket, dude, obviously I don't even wear that. I don't think I ever wore it out of my fucking apartment, but it's symbolic of what I wanted to achieve, which was, I always say, man, when I started this, it wasn't necessarily about winning a competition as much as it was, if there were a group of kids talking about their favorite DJs, I just wanted to be mentioned.
Yes.
And that jacket is symbolic of the fact that, damn, I achieved that. So I'm super thankful for what that means.
I'm with you. I feel it.
Word. So, all right, I have a little list here. I want to do this in a certain order. So after I won the 92 DMC, Akinelli was actually there. And literally right after I got off stage from getting that jacket, Akinelli, if you don't know who he is, he was on a song called Live at the Barbecue, Main Source. This is the song where Nas debuted and went on to be one of the most revered, you know, hip hop MCs. Akinelli is no joke either. Like, as far as the underground is concerned, at that period in hip hop, that dude was one of the nastiest fucking MCs. I'm sure Dstroy can attest to that. But Ak was there at the battle, went up to me, and he was like, yo, I want you to be my DJ. And I obviously knew who Ak was because Live at the Barbecue, Main Source, that song was fucking, like, I would say, like, the song of that season.
For sure.
And I was like, word? I was like, dope, because that was my whole goal. My strategy was to get into the competition, make a name for myself so that I could use that as a stepping stone to get to the next level, which was DJing for a rapper, touring, being able to get on stage on these fucking turntables, kill it without some panel of judges deciding whether I was good enough or not, and then get paid for it. So the next little gem that I want to show you guys is this. This is an SP1200 Emu Sampler, and Akinelli purchased it for me as payment for the scratches that I did on his first album, Vagina Diner. He paid me $500 in cash and bought me this SP1200. So this right here this is a gem for sure.
For sure.
Word.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So what's another gem we got? Let's talk about some joints. So obviously you need records to sample on that beautiful machine there. And this joint here, man. This joint here changed my life, man. Nobody Beats the Biz. 12-inch single. From what I hear, Biz Markie, health-wise, is experiencing some, you know, some challenges. I wish him well. Biz, we love you. This song, man, changed my life, bro. I went to Dr. Butcher's house one day to practice and fucking got there, man, and he was practicing on this joint right here. Let me just play it for y'all. Let me turn the highs up.
I know. I don't want to get in trouble because when we play music on Instagram.
We'll just play it for like a few seconds.
Okay. Yes.
That song right there, man, changed my life because Dr. Butcher gave me these exact records. Like this record I'm holding in my hand, he was practicing with. He had duplicate copies. I went to his house one day to practice, and he was like, yo, Rob, Nobody Beats the Biz. Yo, this joint has mad shit in it. Like, I'm coming up with mad patterns. He took them off the turntables. He was like, yo, take them home with you and practice. And about a week or two after that, I came up with the Nobody Beats the Biz routine. And of all the routines that I've created from the early 90s, the start of my career as a battle DJ to now, the Nobody Beats the Biz routine is the one song that people connect me with the most. So, yeah, this joint right here. And then I got Marley Marl to sign the cover. And then, here's the cool shit. I was at a show performing with Ak, actually, with Akinelli. Yes. And, you know, you bring your records with you because Ak was cool enough to give me my little 5 minutes throughout the show to get busy. And at the show, OC was there. OC, Time's Up, OC. And I remember, you know, he was like, yo, Rob, yo, man, like, big fan of your work, man. You're really dope. And we got to talking and we fucking hit it off. And then he gave me his cell phone number, and I wrote that shit down. Right there, I wrote that shit down, OC. So I wrote it right on my,
Woo!
yeah, so this is a little gem. Big ups to OC.
Yo, so, you know, that's the first vinyl I ever purchased, and I purchased it at a record store, and the person I bought it from who worked at the record store was Evil D.
Oh, wow. Damn.
And it was in
Street?
Bushwick. It was
Bushwick. All right.
Yeah, it was music. And another thing is OC was the first person, you know, I was the hype man for X-Ecutioners, but OC was the first person I went on tour with as his hype man. So that is phenomenal, because I know that phone number doesn't work.
Yeah, right. OC. All right. So, yeah, man. So also, like, obviously, throughout the 90s, the golden era of hip hop, I was a student. I wasn't just this kid that wanted a DJ. I was very serious about getting my degree, my psych degree. And thankfully, the music didn't distract me too much. So this for me is definitely a gem. This is my bachelor's degree from Baruch College. I majored in psychology, and you know, it's not a pair of sneakers or a fucking piece of vinyl or flyer, but yeah, man.
That's a super gem, bro.
Yeah, this degree is big time, man, because although I'm not a therapist, I thought I was going to be a therapist of all things when I graduated college, because in my head, I was like, man, there's no way I'll be able to do music into my 40s. Like, at some point, this is going to end and I'll just get a regular job. So I have to have a backup plan. And my backup plan was therapy. I thought I was going to be a psychotherapist. So I went to Baruch College, majored in psychology, got my degree. And although I'm not a therapist, I do feel like I've used a lot of what I learned and apply it to my music, to my mentality, how I think, working in groups. All that is psychology.
Working in groups.
I mean? Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
I was waiting for that one, because you know, that's something I could have used in the arsonist, bro.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, it's not easy, man, but hey, we're still here, dude, and we're still making an impact, and all that shit served a purpose, right?
Yeah, like that date. Weights over dates.
Exactly. So let's see, we got the degree. I think another cool thing to kind of piggyback the whole theme of education, books, man. You know, like, gems aren't just hip hop or, you know, materialistic related things, you know, and books, man. Like, a homegirl of mine that actually was my booking agent. Big shout to Lan Fan.
Lan Fan.
Yeah. Remember, I don't know if you remember Lan, but yeah.
She's my friend on LinkedIn now. She's like, oh
yeah,
my
man.
God.
Yo, Lan, bless her, man, because yo, she was my booking agent. She's the one that got me the commercial that I appeared in, you know, that Gap commercial with Shannon Sossaman and DJ Shortcut. She's the one that finagled that whole situation. And when she was my booking agent, man, she would sit me down and just fucking talk to me about deep shit. And she would give me books, man. And this Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, this was one of the books among many books that she has given me. And I value every book that she fucking blessed me with, man, because I would read these shits and understand how to strategize to accomplish what I have accomplished in my career to date, you know? And if it wasn't for Lan blessing me with these gems, these mental gems, forget it, man. I don't think I would have understood how to forge a path as a DJ for as long as I have. Like, you could be nice, man. You could be ill. You could do all the crazy scratches in the world and have all the fucking jackets you want. But if you're not smart and you don't know how to, like, navigate through the bullshit of what the industry is, then you're just going to be a kid that was nice and won a battle or two, but didn't do anything beyond that. with those skills. And I can say that I've done a lot from reading and educating myself. So big ups to Lan for that book. And you know, yeah, man, she blessed me with that. Some more reading material. This is another gem. This book here, The New Beats, my boy Skiz Fernando wrote it, and I went on to appear in the book. So I'm just gonna open up to the page that has me right here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but that's a gem for me, man, because it was like the mid-90s and I was just building my name, and for an author, a writer, to ask me to appear in a book, a published fucking book that people were going to read.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's one thing to have your name on a flyer. It's another thing to have your name in a book with a picture. So that's another gem. So as far as reading material, we're going to close this little part of gems with this fucking crazy gem. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this hip hop family tree.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really sick, man. Ed Pixker, I don't know how to fucking pronounce his name. I apologize to him. But yeah, this is a gem right here, and it has a lot of meaning. As you could see, we got Grand Mixer DST here. He was a big influence on me. The work he did with Herbie Hancock, Rocket, appearing on Wild Style at the end scene, that cat cutting up Good Times, that's Grand Mixer DST, and he was a huge motivation for me. And Ed Pixker has a page in the book where you see Grand Mixer DST and his offspring. And you have Mixmaster Mike here, Rock Raider, rest in peace, DJ Qbert, and myself, Rob Swift. And that's huge. Yeah, that's huge. Wow. That's crazy, man, because, again, I was a kid with that same afro watching Grand Mixer DST, wanting to be like him, wanting to be an influence on other DJs the way he was an influence on me. And then decades later, I'm in a book and I'm being featured as his offspring. That's fucking insane.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal. All right, so moving on. Damn, what else do I want to show? Yeah, I gotta show. This is just some materialistic bullshit, but it's
Rob,
cool anyway.
It's cool anyway.
Yeah. So these Air Maxes, I know a lot of people that follow me know I refer to myself as the Air Max King, and it's for a reason. I got mad Air Maxes. Like, I don't really collect them as much anymore. To be honest with you, like, now that I'm older, like, my values have changed. Like, when we were touring, doing all that Linkin Park shit and fucking touring with Eminem and all those dudes, I was fucking into Air Maxes like you wouldn't believe, man. Like every state that we would tour together, and I would always go off on myself on these journeys to find Air Maxes that no one had. And these joints here are the ones I'm probably most fucking proud of, because there are only 300 of these made. These are the Seattle Air Maxes. They were released in Seattle, Washington, nowhere else. And this is the 232nd fucking pair that was made out of 300. So yeah, these are dope. These ones right here, man. I love these shits. And they're still in good condition too. I managed to take good care of them and shit. So word.
That's
all right. So what else we got? We're wrapping up here. So this belt, this was given to me as a gift from a colleague of mine named DX. And this was actually a recent gift. I got this a couple of months ago. And it's humbling, man, because, yeah, although I wasn't necessarily all about winning a battle. When I decided to compete, I just wanted to get my name out there so that I could eventually tour and DJ for a rapper, which thank God I achieved. It is nice to be recognized as one of the dope DJs that have come, you know, in this art form. And the belt, this is so symbolic of like what every DJ really aspires to attain, is like a championship belt, like fucking Miz did in the '89 seminar, the way Steve D did in the '90s seminar. And obviously I didn't win it at a battle, but someone still wanted to show me some recognition. So this is a gem that I value very much.
Nice.
Yeah,
Rob,
man.
you know, I know you're there and you're showing off. I wanted to stop you for a quick moment and ask you, you know, you touched on, you know, the touring, but what was one of those moments that were bigger than you moments for you? And I know you had a couple. I want everybody to understand, Rob has such a great career with so many stories that we can't knock out in one show. But what was one of those things that you're like, I'm here. I'm actually here?
Well, the first one that comes to mind, D, you were present at. We got asked. This is crazy, man. We got asked by MTV to open up a show that they used to, obviously they don't air this anymore, but they had a series called MTV Icon. And within this show, the concept was to celebrate an iconic group in music.
Look at the screen, Rob.
Oh, I have it back. I have it like the other way. So I don't even know what you're showing. What are you showing?
This is the freaking pass that they gave us.
Oh, you got the pass?
Basket or some shit.
That's dope.
Continue.
That's dope, man. So MTV asks us to open up MTV Icon for Aerosmith. Now, if you're a DJ or a producer, you understand the relevance of Aerosmith, specifically a song called Walk This Way. DJs like Jazzy J, Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, Bambaataa, Tony Tone, Charlie Chase used to cut Walk This Way for the drum beat. There's a break in this rock song that starts at the beginning, and it's a dope break, and it's these fucking nasty sounding drums. And my brother owned copies of this song and would teach me how to cut up doubles on Walk This Way before Steven Tyler started singing. Then fast forward to the mid-'80s, Run DMC does a cover of Walk This Way with Aerosmith that puts hip-hop on the map. Like, that song, the cover, the remake of Walk This Way, united MTV with hip-hop, white people with hip-hop, the world with hip-hop. Because up until the mid-'80s, hip-hop was just something for people like you, D, and me, you know, Latinos, Black folk. But it became a worldwide phenomenon, in my opinion. Even though Wild Style was out before then and Beat Street.
No, it definitely crossed
that
over.
Song,
I agree with you. Totally.
That song, forget it, man. So there's that, Walk This Way. And then years later, Built From Scratch is out. X-Ecutioners of fucking the shit. Like, we're putting turntablism on the map. And because of that, MTV asks us to open up MTV Icon, celebrating Aerosmith, cutting up Aerosmith records. So I'm on stage and you're off to the side of the stage with Good Time, Big Up Good Time, with Boogie Blind, Big Up Boogie Blind, X-Ecutioners, with our road manager Q, with our manager Philip Kang, watching us cut up Aerosmith records for Aerosmith and their family, Liv Tyler and Pink and Jay Leno and Janet Jackson and Fred Durst, and the list goes on and on.
Holy shit.
I mean, come on, man. Like, that for me, dude, that's one of those moments where you're just like, Am I here?
Yo, Rob, I freaking love you that you bring that story up, because if I could give my POV, it's me when you guys are doing sound check and you're rehearsing, right?
Really?
And I'm looking from the crowd, and it's just me. Well, not me, just like the tech people. And I'm like, yo, you know, look at the camera. You know, make sure you guys do that thing in the camera, though. And when that whole night was amazing. And it's so funny that you brought this up, because I've been having this sit on my desk for a while, and it says, Dear Dstroy, thanks for celebrating this special event with us and sharing in a sweet emotion. All your friends at Mtv Icons. This was that. Wow. That was that freaking night. And then earlier that day, I went and I bought a poster. Now, I want to get this framed. But that day, I was walking around with a freaking poster. And I got it signed because Rob Swift, you remember the next day, I think we did like the X Games too. It was like a crazy LA run we were doing.
It was a crazy weekend, yeah.
Yo, so I got Jay-Z to hit this, Static X, as you remember, he rocked with you guys. I got Jay Leno, I got Janet Jackson, and this was Exhibit, what is it, Ozzy Osbourne's kids. But bro, it was like a great moment, because not only are we hip hop kids, right? And I share in that sentiment with you, like, you know, we come and doing the thing that we love, and then when we get embraced under an institution like not only MTV, but with the people who were involved, like me and you and the rest of the guys are sitting on the side, and Shakira is singing in our face, bro.
Yo, you know? There's footage. Someone needs to find this. There's footage of her walking past us, and we're like, we were like, yo, like that shit was crazy. When she was
and
singing,
you guys
all
were
of us,
probably
like,
the only two Colombians in that building.
Word, yeah, man.
But that's phenomenal.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Crazy stories, man. So yeah, I'm happy to be here with you, man, bro, because I'm not just talking to someone interviewing me. I'm talking to a colleague that was there with me for many of these moments. And I don't even feel like I feel like you're here at the crib and we're just like,
and we're just talking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yo, another gem I got that I want to show off, you know, people that follow me, I'm sure understand my passion for baseball. I used to play baseball. I fucking go to all the Mets games. I'm a huge Met fan, being from Queens. And I was at a game and fucking caught a foul ball. And, yeah, this is the foul ball. And then I had like a few months after that, I went to Shea Stadium. They were having like some event at Shea Stadium, and the players were there. And a homegirl of mine that, like, Bernadette, big ups to Bernadette. She works for some bank. She probably fucking clocks like 6 figures a year. She was like, yo, Rob, like, I'm going to hook you up, man. Come to, not Shea Stadium. That's old school. City Field. She was like, yo, come to City Field. And the players are going to be there. I got you. And I'm fucking on the field, like, with fucking, like, everybody, man. Like, fucking Cologne. Yo, every Met player. And I fucking got them to fucking sign.
Wow.
All these signatures are fucking on this baseball. So it was a foul ball that I caught at a game, and then months later, I went and fucking got like Cespedes to sign the shit, and Cologne, and yeah, it was a fun fucking day.
Now I know he's a Mets fan because one of the places I seen him was when Nas performed there, and that was great for. Yeah,
that was a fun night too.
For everyone.
Yep. And there's the ticket right here of the actual game, City Field. Word. That was July 7th, 2016.
You got it. You got to.
So yo,
frame it.
Word. I got two more. I keep it in like a glass box.
Yes, guys. Rob not only takes his DJing serious, but overall his life is very situated, and I admire that because in a world or in a genre where people are crazy and whatever, you're definitely a pillar of the culture that I've been able to comprehend throughout my years.
Right on. Thank you, D. Appreciate it, man. I got two last things I want to show off. First, I'm going to start off with gifts from students. These two fucking Brolic Army Serato control records are dear to me. Big ups to my student Ham from, I think he's from Toronto, Canada for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me these as a birthday gift, man, and I really value them. They're just records, man, but anytime a student takes the time to physically show me, not just say how much they appreciate what I've done for them with regards to helping them understand how to become better DJs, that's such a value to me because I've devoted myself so much to teaching now, more than anything. I consider myself a mentor to a lot of people. And that kid Ham from Canada, I haven't even met in person. And it's just dope how we connected through fucking Skype, trained together, never met in person, and we just hit it off, and he sent me those. So I value those control records. My homegirl, Versetti, gave me this best teacher. I don't know what you'd call this. It's little, but yeah, it's fucking piece of wood. It's a piece of wood, but again, man, it just shows that I'm making an impact, a positive impact on my students, and I appreciate that. We're gonna round it off here with
wait, okay, continue.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So,
now
Rob,
you go.
Before you get to that one, I want to ask you a couple like bullet questions. The first is you've been in the game for a lot, and a lot of people like to say the term "you weren't there." You know, like, oh, you trying to call me out, but you've witnessed a lot of things. You were on the fly. You were a fly on the wall for a lot of situations. If you can, what was one of those moments in your career as Rob Swift that you were a part of, that you were a fly on the wall on?
Whew. Fuck. There's a couple that I'm not going to talk about because they involve like beef. And I'm not trying to start no problems with no rappers. So, fuck it. one moment that was fucking dope to be a part of. And this is actually public knowledge, but I'm not going to get into the details. But I was in Florida, Miami to be exact, with Akinelli and our whole fucking crew of Queens Wolves at fucking
New Music
Luke,
Seminar?
not a seminar.
No, I know the Florida one. Jack the
Rapper, the Miami
something
one.
like that.
And it wasn't Jack the Rapper. It was another one of those conventions, man.
Yes, I know. I
Anyway,
can't think of it, but yes.
Yeah. So we're down there, man, performing at a Luke party. And you know, Luke runs Miami. And we're down there. It might have been Jack the Rapper. I don't know. Anyway,
Correct.
We're down there performing or about to perform. And Wu-Tang was there. And fucking Old Dirty Bastard. Right before we got on, Old Dirty Bastard decides to get on the mic and try to fucking diss Ak. For no reason. That was just Old Dirty Bastard at the time. Like, he was infamous for getting on stage while a group was performing and kick him off stage and fucking wild out. The thing about it is we had wolves with us that night. We had wolves with us, and Ak was not going to go out that way. And a fucking fight between Old Dirty and Ak broke out right on stage. Yo, Ghostface was there, Raekwon, fucking Inspector Deck, big up to all those dudes. And that shit was the funniest shit. Yo, and then Luke's people to stop the fight. Because, yo, the whole stage, basically it was a rumble on stage. And to stop the madness, Luke's people started fucking shooting up the party. And then like everybody just scattered, and yo, that shit was crazy, yo. Like
wow.
that was a moment like I'll never forget, man. And I got others, but yeah, I got others,
Rob,
but
listen,
they're too
that
crazy.
Specific story right there is definitely one that it came back from Florida, and I witnessed Old Dirty's Wrath with
Right.
The Roots, with Dougie Fresh, and I heard this Akinelli story. So,
yeah.
So if I know, because this is what I heard, was there a moment where they were tussling and they fell on the ground, like on the dance floor?
Yep. No, not on the dance floor. They fell on the ground on the stage.
Uh-huh.
On the stage. On the fucking stage. And the thing about it, man, is Akinelli's a rapper, but he's also a street dude. And rap or hip hop back then is not what it is right now. Like a lot of these dudes that talk all that gun shit and this and that, and I do this.
Akinelli was that guy.
That dude was about everything he fucking talked about. Trust me.
Well,
Trust
I
me.
love the opportunity for you to bring that up, because it's our culture in retrospect, right? We're here to be comfortable and look back and like laugh that we survived this madness.
We survived this shit,
you know,
man.
and that's a gem in itself. Now,
and then, I have so many, I have so many gems like that. Just dealing with Ak. Some that are crazy that I'll never talk about in an IG live, but just one other one that was a very fun one for me. At the time, I was with Dr. Butcher hanging out. I don't know where we were. Dr. Butcher gets a call from Large Professor, like, yo, come to the crib. Like, we're just here chilling. Like, me, Ak, Van was Vandemator. Van was Large Professor's roommate. So Drew's like, all right, I'm with Rob right now. And he's like, yeah, bring Rob too. Just come to the crib. We're chilling. So we go to Large Professor's house, and Ak's there. Large is there. Van is there. I'm there. Butcher's there. And then fucking Nas walks in. And I had already been around Nas. Like, we were a part of the fucking same Queens crew.
Yes,
you know?
Of course.
Queens Lounge.
Akinelli,
all that shit, right. But but still, it was Nas. And at the time, out of all of us, Nas was the dude that everyone was just like, yo, this guy, Illmatic, this, that, and the third. He was just like the fucking second coming of Christ, pretty much, in hip-hop. Yes. So Nas walks in, and Large starts playing beats on this shit right here. Large starts playing fucking beats on this shit, and he's playing beats, and Ak is rhyming to the beats, Large is freestyling, Nas is freestyling, and then Paul looks at me because I had one of these at the crib, and I had just started doing beats, learning. Large Professor was mentoring me, and I happened to have a floppy disk on me. At the time, if you were a DJ or producer, you walked around with a floppy disk of your beats in case you ran into someone or you were somewhere and you needed to fucking play your beats with somebody. So I had a floppy disk, and Large goes, yo, Rob, play your joints. Like, right now. Like, what's up? And I'm like, fuck. Like, Nas is here. Ak's here. Large is here. And you're all fucking ill dudes. And I look up to all you guys, and I'm just starting out on this shit right here. Took out my floppy disk, threw it in the SP1200, and I played for everybody the second beat that I ever did. This was the second beat I remember. And fucking Ak starts rapping, Large starts rapping, and then Nas fucking starts rhyming to the beat. The second beat that I ever made. And I'm there like, yo, this is heaven right now, yo. Like, this is amazing. And like, I'm looking at all of them rhyming to my beat. Like, they're freestyling and saying slick shit and talking about me and the beat. And I'm there like, yo, man, this is amazing, yo. This is crazy. And it's just, yo, I tell that story, and I wish, a part of me wishes that smartphones were out back then, because I would have had that shit like fucking documented. You know what I mean? And that shit would have been a viral video to this day. But only the people in that room fucking remember that night. And yo, another cool little gem about that, Van had a sister, and she came over, and fucking that was the day that Nas fucking met Van's sister and ended up, you know, fucking, I think they had a daughter together, some shit like that. So I was there when that whole connection came about. So yeah, it's just crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. Let me put this down.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Rob, I know you got your one last gem. That
yeah, man. I got one last man fucking gem here, dude. Yeah, man. So of all the little shit that I've been showing y'all throughout this entire live stream with Dstroy, of all of that, the title, you know, we talked about DJ titles and shit like that, and what was your name and all that, and title this and title that. The title I'm most proud of, man, is the title to my apartment. Right there. This piece of paper, man. Ownership. Ownership is very important as a hip-hop artist. You know?
Guys,
yeah,
that's
man.
the level of gem that the freaking the what is, it's not a diploma, what is it, what is the college one, what do they call that?
The degree.
The freaking degree. Look at that. You know what I got. I didn't get a degree.
Nah, but yo, the title, man, the title to my apartment, of all the shit that I've shown you, that shit means the most because I own something off my creativity.
Love it.
And a lot of us in this game don't own our shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're creative, whether you make a dope beat or you write a amazing rhyme or you construct this fucking incredible routine, but then someone takes your style. So now you don't own your shit anymore, or someone bites your routine or bites your fucking patterns, your beat juggle patterns or your pattern scratching. That's it. You don't own your shit no more. Someone else is running with your shit, getting famous off your creativity. Shit. Puff fucking got big to sell him his fucking publishing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hip hop artists are taken advantage of and exploited so much, whether you're a rapper, a producer, or DJ. And I feel like going to school, man, and getting that degree, this shit right here helped me understand how to get this shit.
Wow.
And those two things, for me, if it wasn't for the title, I'll put it to you this way. The title, the degree go together, you know, like owning your ideas, your creative mind, and then the title, the ownership, that being manifested into an apartment that you walk into that is yours, that you could sell. You're not renting from some fucking landlord that's hiking up the rent on you. That, man, for sure.
Rob, there's, as you speak, I'm like, what can I ask next? But there's so many great things that I'm sure people could go out there and read more about this wonderful gentleman.
Yo, there is one thing that I gotta fucking show that I didn't show too, dude.
Yes.
And I pulled it off my wall in the living room, so it'd be a shame if I didn't show it. I got this platinum plaque right here, courtesy of Lincoln Park.
What a ride.
Yeah, man, what a ride. This shit I'm really proud of, man, because as an artist, you know, everyone wants to go platinum and experience that and have that plaque on their wall to say, yo, I created music that millions of people listened to and bought. Yeah. That's really the main goal as an artist. And to think I accomplished that as a DJ. Usually DJs get shitted on. You know, we're just the guys that get hired to scratch on a record and get paid $50 for an hour. And sometimes we don't even fucking get credit.
Right.
But the credit for this shit. Yeah, man. Big ups to Lincoln Park. R.I.P. Chester Bennington. We miss you. R.I.P. Rock Raider. We miss you. And every time I stare at this, man, I think of those guys. Word up.
Rob, my God, brother, such great words, such great energy, and I'm sure you inspired many. Before we go to two last questions, what is it like showing off your gems to other passionate people of the beautiful culture that is not only hip-hop, but of collecting as well?
Yo, hopefully everything that I showed you guys motivates you to get yours, man. You know, hip-hop right now is so saturated that you may think there's no real chance of you to experience the shit that I have. A lot of people that I talk to or encounter tell me shit like, man, I started out too late. Like, you're lucky. You were doing this shit during a time where, like, it wasn't flooded with just nobodies being somebodies. But yo, you and I, D, were experiencing different challenges back then. And we made it through those challenges. And here we are standing with an audience, people that follow what we do and say on social media and shit like that. There's no reason why someone now couldn't go on to accomplish the same things I have, if not more things. You just have to have faith in yourself and your abilities and do the things that you and I were talking about throughout this chat, man, which is stay focused, work hard, practice, develop yourself, be smart about the people you do business with and the people that you interact with. Consider who you're being creative with. Sometimes someone may be creative, but they may not necessarily be a good person. And they may be out to fucking rob you or some shit like that, you know, steal your ideas.
You can tell Rob's from a different era, fam.
Yeah.
We always ready.
Always ready.
You're saying some great words, and that's what I would love for you to close out with. So everybody's going through their things and their challenges. You know, anxiety is a thing that some people are facing, depression and all that. But I like to share positivity and smiling, and hopefully this has been an enjoyable experience for you. But with that said, what is it that keeps that battery in your back that you could convey to a person viewing to keep them going?
For me, man, it's about tapping into my creativity and experiencing myself. Nothing more. And then what comes from that comes. You know, I'm very strong into God and his presence in my life and his guidance and his inspiration, being creative, experiencing myself. You know, when you DJ, man, and you scratch, like that's you making that sound. And I just like how that feels. So I practice, and I've been practicing since I was fucking 12 years old. And all of that energy that I've been channeling into practicing and developing has then led me to like cool experiences. Being in a fucking apartment with Nas and Large Professor and Akinelli, being in a studio with Fat Joe, being on stage with you fucking off to the side watching, cheering me on with the rest of the crew. Like, all of that is because I just like being creative and experiencing myself, doing things and exercising my mind. You know what I mean? So just do that, man. It's that simple. That's, I feel, really the whole point of why we're here, is to create in whatever fashion that is. So always think, what can I do today that makes a mark? Whether it's on my friends or on people that I interact with on social media, whatever the case is, just make a mark each day, even if it's a small mark. And then from that mark, you experience ripple effects. And then people see shit and they want to fuck with you and collaborate with you and hire you to do shit. And
yes.
Yeah, man.
Rob, thank you so much for being a great guest. It's a pleasure to have you on here. From somebody who's dealt with you and seen you work and seen you progress and also stay passionate. I appreciate that. And I also want to tell you that I love you, brother. So thank you.
Love you too, man.
Thank you so much.
Yo, D, and two, I want to tell you, D, I'm very, very, like, impressed and moved by what you've been doing for Latinos. You know, you've been on your shit, man, and really standing up for us and putting yourself out there and speaking out. And me being Colombian, I see it. And I am moved by everything that you've been doing as well, man. Like, you're using your platform to not just promote yourself as, you know, Dstroy, arsonist, but you're using your platform to speak on some very important issues, man. So I see it on Facebook, I see it on IG, and yeah, man, big ups to you for that as well.
My brother, you're a gem, Rob.
Word.
Stay amazing, guys. Oh my God. I see you later, brother. You stay great. I'll meet you in the USA. Bring your roller skates.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Rob Swift, Brolic Arms, Robbie Rob, Incredible Hands partner, the amazing Rob Swift. Guys, I hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a blast. He brought me, he took me on a ride, of course, through some great history, his history and hip hop history. Some moments that I was a fly on the wall of, but you guys continue being great, continue being out there, inspiring people. And if you guys got gems, remember, I always give an opportunity for people throughout the week to come on the show and show off. Yes, for those who are just coming in, unfortunately, you did miss it. However, you can rewatch this because I am going to post it in a little bit so you guys can like it, watch it, leave a little comment because I'm told it helps the algorithm and I respond to that. And if you guys want to see episodes you might have missed, because we've done over 100 episodes of Show Off Your Gem, make sure you guys head on over to youtube.com/iDstroy, where I put the episodes of Show Off Your Gems on there as well.